Okay. Hey guys, I never know how to say hi. So seeing as it was just Easter, I'm going to be talking about my resurrection, aka my coming out story. I was going to make a creative coming out video back in 2014, but you know, times change and people change. But I want to do this because I know there's people out there who watch my videos who are still struggling with being in the closet, and I feel like by sharing my story, maybe that would help, whether it's just little or big, just in any way possible. And believe it or not, there are actually gay people out there who shame other gay people for talking about their coming out story, but I'm proud to talk about it because for me, it is a big battle that I overcame in my life. But I don't want to be too deep about it because that's not fun. Anyway, let's jump into it. So a question I get asked a lot is, how old were you when you realized, or when did you know? For me, I've known since I can remember, like since you can even recognize attraction. To put an actual age on it, I would say about 4 or 5. I wouldn't say that I specifically knew I was gay, because when you're that little, you don't really know about sexuality or labels and all that stuff. People are just people. But it was always something that was on the back of my mind and something that I always just kind of knew. But at that age, I just didn't really pay attention to it. I remember being about 5 or 6 and watching a music video with my brother, and the lead singer came on and I was like, oh, he's sexy. And my brother goes, no, he's cool, it's cool. He wasn't trying to suppress me or anything, he was genuinely being nice, and he just thought that I had my words mixed up. But I didn't. Even at that age, I knew what I meant and I meant what I said. Honestly, I was actually kind of a horny kid. But I've actually heard studies show that that is normal. Thank God. I always thought I was fucking weird. And I've spoken to people who said they were the same. It has something to do with hormones and shit, I don't know. Anyway, moving on, but that also kind of gave me a clear indication at a young age. It's things like that situation with my brother though that made me realize like, oh, maybe this isn't okay. Because growing up before I knew who I was, what I liked, before I could even truly express myself, I'm being exposed to these little things along the way that make me realize, maybe I don't fit the mold. And then I start piecing together, oh, maybe this isn't normal, maybe I should keep this to myself. And before you know it, it's, this isn't accepted, this isn't okay, I need to hide this. And then from other people's stories and experience, I've learned no one can find out. What are they gonna do? And like, to be honest, I used to honestly think I would rather kill myself than have anyone find out. Basically, you don't grow up comfortable and wanting to be who you are when who you are is a joke and an insult. Do you feel me, my fellow faggots? From talking to other people though, coming out stories can be quite different. What I learned anyway, I just always assumed everyone was kind of the same. For me, I became my biggest critic. I was so strict on myself. I always tried to control how people saw me. My whole life people have called me gay and been suspicious. So I always did everything I could in my power to make sure that I suppressed that rumor. I monitored so much. The way I dressed, I always made sure my clothes weren't too tight. The way I talked, my pitch, my tone. I hid things that I was interested in and didn't talk about them because it seemed gay. Even on YouTube, I tried to brand myself to be this straight guy that girls loved because that was the cool thing and that would make people think that I'm straight. I can't count how many times on my hands that while filming I've said something and then reset it and used that take because I was like, oh, that sounded gay. So I'd speak lower or even slightly unenthusiastic. I even think there was this one time when I was editing a video and I hated the way my voice sounded, so I like slightly edited it a little bit lower. So I tried so hard to make sure that people didn't think I was gay and to seem straight. Like, I changed so much, I monitored so much, I really wasn't being myself. So whenever I would hear that someone thought I was gay or someone called me gay, to me what I would hear is, you're failing. I never ever talked to guys on the slide because I was way too paranoid that it would get back to me. Actually, I was about 16 or 17 when I would like start to kind of talk to a guy. But even then, I would make sure that there was no mutual friends. So there was no way that they could ever get back. Like, they were never from Adelaide, like where I'm from. And I would always have a story at the back of my mind of how I'm gonna deny it and like a defense to how people would try and confirm that it was me. But yeah, not that that would happen because they were never even from my state. Oh, the power of the internet. So for me, it was a lot of hatred towards myself, and I would always think, why me? Why can't I just be straight? And even though deep down I knew I was gay, I was in denial for quite a while there because it wasn't who I wanted to be. And I would think, maybe if I just don't think about it and I cut out all the gay thoughts, then maybe I'll change and it'll just go away. Well, wrong. And I remember being in my room and I just started bawling my eyes out because it had hit me that I was never going to change, and it was who I was and who I was going to be forever no matter what. And it was terrifying because it still wasn't who I wanted to be. I would just think, great, I've spent my whole life trying to cover it up, telling people I'm not, just for it to come to this point where I'm like, nah, okay, I'm gay. Like, I was even slightly embarrassed about that. It wasn't until I was about 17, turning 18, that things really changed for me. I don't really know what it was, but I guess I just got really sick of battling it, and I really started to open my mind. I remember I would see an old person on the side of the street, like they're gonna pass soon kind of old, and I would think, I wonder how they feel reflecting back on their life. I hope they didn't get all the way through life right to the end to look back and go fuck and regret such a huge part. And obviously for me that was being gay. Then I would think to myself, I don't want to get all the way through my life and get to the end of it and regret not coming out and hiding who I was. And I also didn't want to get married to a woman and have kids and then come out. And so all of a sudden this power just started up inside of me, and I realized this isn't fair on me. I shouldn't have to hide who I am for anyone, and I shouldn't be doing this to myself. Like, 17 years is enough. And like, I'm in my prime years, I'm just about to be over age. I don't want to waste that, like, not dating people I want to date and not being who I am. Like, I want to have fun with it. So the first person I came out to was my friend Ruby, who was my best friend at school, because I knew that she would be completely fine with it. And she was honestly like the best about it. And after that, I was just so excited to just tell like the rest of my closest friends, because I was so excited. For the first time in my life, I was honestly being who I was. I only told the closest people in my life because they were who I thought deserved to be told, because obviously I'm changing the way I identify myself, like they need to know. Other than that, I felt empowered not making a coming out status or whatever, because like straight people don't have to. As long as the closest people in my life to me know, then that's all that really matters. I know everyone else is just gonna find out. The only coming out thing that I did was a status, because I had my 18th birthday party coming up, and a guy that I was pretty much dating was gonna be there, and I had like 70 people or so that had been in my life throughout high school or whatnot being there, and I just kind of just wanted to break the ice so there wasn't awkward staring and like, wait, what? So the last person I told after I told all my closest friends was my mum, because once I did that, I knew that it was like official, like there's no turning back sort of thing. And I have the most amazing mum ever. She's my best friend. I knew that she was going to be completely fine with it. So I was really lucky in that way that I didn't have to fear being kicked out or being disowned. Not that it should be a lucky thing, like it should be fucking standard. And if you disown or kick out your child because of their sexuality, then you don't even deserve the title of a parent, because you're not one. But mum said she knew all along anyway, so growing up she always made sure that she hinted and made sure that I knew that it was okay to be whoever I wanted to be. And as kids, my mum always brought us cars and teapots, girls and boys toys, because she wanted us to decide what we wanted to play with, not with what we should be playing with. Like, I could cry tears of joy. How did I get so much luck with the mum that I have? Anyway, enough about that bitch. Love you, mum. So anyway, coming out for me once I took that leap was the most amazing and most exciting time of my life, because after 17 years of hiding who I was and monitoring and suppressing so much about myself, I finally got to be who I was, and I didn't have to hide my attraction and my passions, and I could dress how I wanted, I could do my eyebrows, I could get my nose pierced, I can talk in whatever tone or pitch I want, I can get flamboyant sometimes, I can do whatever I want and not have to care. And that was amazing. In a way, I view myself lucky that I am gay and that I had to live those years being in the closet, because it gave me such an exciting and empowering time of my life. And honestly, I never thought that I would be who I was and as comfortable in my own skin as I am to this day. Like, it honestly blows my mind looking back to how I was. So I guess ending this video, I'm gonna say, if you are struggling and you're still in the closet, please know that that isn't forever and that you will get past it. I can't promise you that your coming out is gonna be as breezy as mine, but honestly, being who you are is 150,000% worth it. And just know that you're not alone, because I'm here, and I'm sure there's a lot of other out subscribers that are here. So just know that you're not alone. If you have any questions, feel free to comment them below and I'll most likely reply to them, or if I get enough, I will probably end up just making a video about it. And if for whatever reason you want to message me anonymously, feel free to message me on Tumblr. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video even though it was a little bit more personal. I guess I'll see you next time.